Alright, Shalom. This is your brother Karak, GMS Miami. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elder apostles, a great millstone that rule extremely well. Greetings and blessings to all you sincere Akim throughout the four corners of the earth that push the unadulterated truth of the Bible and risk your lives to do so. This is going to be a quick lesson of basically about the most important intangibles to have in this faith, man. And we deal in simple complexity, complex simplicity, so to speak. But meaning, the scriptures are plain, man. They say what they say and they mean what they mean. But there are also mysteries within the scriptures. Okay, so there's always a maturation period. When you first come in this truth, you soaking up the tender milk. For years and years and years. Okay, and eventually you grow to a point where you want to get a little deeper, and that's just only human nature. Okay, but not too deep or three deep. Just going within the depths of what the scriptures give. Okay, now when it comes to getting extremely deep, hey, we got men set up that do that for us, man, that break it down and make it plain for us. Okay, but in the midst of that, it kind of gets lost about the intangibles and the simple things. Okay, and that's what you notice when dudes get kicked to the wayside, or you find out that they're reprobate. Okay, and what's the common thread is that they forgot about the intangibles, the basics. Okay, which basically are to be meek, to be humble, and to show charity, man. Okay, those three right there, man, that will take you a long way in this faith. You may not have great understanding, but as long as you're meek, you're humble, and you show charity to your brothers, man, the Most High sup with you, man, and you just pray your prayer, fasting when needs be, and asking the Lord to help you help you to gain wisdom and knowledge. Okay, it's not that hard, It's just that we have to deal with demons, and outside entities that Satan deals with to try to make us go away from or hinder us from getting the absolute truth of the scriptures. But it's as long as you understanding that those three intangibles cannot vary, you'll be all right, man. And I'm a living testament, man. I've caught hell like all brothers. I won't say my hell is worse than the next man's hell, but I've caught hell in this truth, man. But I've always understood that long as I stay humble and stay meek, and be of a broken heart and contrite spirit, and show charity to the brothers, I got a good chance to make it out of here. Why? Because when we read from Genesis to Revelation, that's the common characteristic that all those men had. They were meek, they were humble, and they had a broken heart and a contrite spirit. Okay, and I was just reading, I forget where it was though, but it said that Moses was he was a meek man. He was the most meek man of all the men that dwell upon the face of the earth. Okay, so once you read these scriptures, and like the elders always tell us, you can't just read it. You have to become it. You have to fit inside of it. You have to know what you're reading, and once you do that, those intangibles, they become infectious. Okay, and you start to model yourself after those renowned men that the scriptures read about. Why? Because alluding to Romans 15:4, it says everything written aforetime was for our learning, that through the scriptures we may have comfort. Okay, and that's what it boils down to. We need comfort in the day of affliction, in the day of trouble, in the day of Salakia, the day of Jacob's trouble. Okay, and that's what we're doing it for, man. But as long as we keep those three attributes, we had a good chance of making it out of here. Okay, along with what it boils down to, you have to be part of the elect. Okay, Apostle Tahar said it one time, you can be the most humblest dude in the world, but if you're not a part of the elect, you're not gonna make it. Okay, but the attributes that men of the Lord are going to show is that they're going to be humble, and they're going to be meek, and they're going to show charity. Okay, so I want to just edify on those points. This is Psalms chapter 25. I started 6. It says, "Remember, O Yahweh, thy tender mercies and thy loving kindness, for they have been ever old." Verse 7, "Remember not the sins of my youth, nor my transgressions. According to thy mercy remember thou me, for thy goodness sake, O Yahweh." Okay, and this is a Psalm of David, and this is Most High called him his friend, man. Okay, and we know how renowned King David is, but he went off. But he went off, So basically, we got to be in that same spirit, and ask the Lord, forgive us for that tender mercy. And also that shows that King David was humble and meek, okay, and brokenhearted. Even though he was in his glory, man. He was in his kingdom, okay. It says, verse 7, remember not the sins of my youth, nor my transgressions according to thy mercy. Remember thou me for thy goodness sake, O Yahweh. Good and upright is Yahweh, therefore will he teach sinners in the way. Okay, and that's what's happening with us. And once you understand that, you know, you're a sinner and the Most High is supping with you to bring you to the light, you know, it's just greatness within itself, man. And that should lift you up to a level to where you want to do whatever you need to do to obtain the tender mercies of the Heavenly Father. Okay, and it says, verse 9, the meek will he guide in judgment, and the meek will he teach his way. Okay, so that just shows how important it is. Okay, that's going to be one of the main characteristics that a man of the Lord, a man that is seeking salvation, will have. He's going to be extremely meek. And it shows, okay, because you can't just say you're meek. It has to show. Because once you sign up for this, man, everybody comes against you, okay? And you can't be carnal. You have to, you know, you have to suck it up, man. You have to deal with it. Why? Because you deserve it. And the Most High chasteneth him that he loveth, okay? And that's what it boils down to. And just knowing that you sin and you worthy of death and you falling short of the glory, that makes you meek within itself. So it's really hard for you to have this understanding and not obtain a level of meekness, okay? Because it's just common sense, but sense is not common. But you understand that you're just earth and ashes, okay? And that you're in the hands of the Heavenly Father, and he can crush you at any moment. That alone would make you meek, okay? But hey, guys that can't obtain the meekness, it reprobates, and it's just not for them, okay? So I'm gonna go from there to 2 Chronicles 7 and 14. Salaki, this is 2 Chronicles. This is 2 Chronicles chapter 7, and I'll start at 12. This is 2 Chronicles 7 and 12. And Yahweh appeared to Solomon by night and said unto him, I have heard thy prayer, and have chosen this place to myself for an house of sacrifice. Verse 13, if I shut up heaven, that there be no rain, or if I command the locusts to devour the land, or if I send pestilence among my people. Verse 14, if my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves, and pray, and seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, and will forgive their sin, and will heal their land. Okay, and that's basically what's going on with the nation of Israel as a whole, man. We've been, you know, we've been chastised by the Most High. We've been torn down, and the reason why is because we broke his law, statutes, commandments. Okay, so what's happening now is there's a returning. Okay, there's a awakening, a mass awakening. Okay, and the Most High is not a man that he should lie. And he said, if the people, Israel, okay, a remnant, because we know through the scriptures and through the spirit that only a remnant will return. So when that remnant wakes up and calls on the Most High and humbles themselves, okay, and went to that word, when you look at the word humble, it's